I'm going to show you how you can generate a triple-digit cash-on-cash ROI. And then as a bonus, I'm even going to show you how you could take that from triple-digit into quadruple-digit. Now, before I jump into it, let me just make sure we're on the same page. By triple-digit ROI, I mean 100, 200, 300, 400% return on your investment. That means you're doubling, tripling, quadrupling your investment. And by quadruple-digit ROI, we're talking over 1,000% return on investment. That means you're 10xing your money, and when you apply these strategies, you can do this in anywhere from maybe 1, 2 years, 3 years out, sometimes even sooner, but typically I tell people plan on 1 to 3 years. So let's jump right into it. Okay, let's suppose that you have a project that requires about $5,000 out of your pocket. Okay, so that's OOP, that's out of pocket, and or your capital needed. Now, let's say on that $5,000 investment, you're able to generate a $20,000 return. Now, I'm using $5,000 as an example here of capital needed out of your pocket. If you've been watching and following my trainings on how to invest in real estate with little to no money down, you know that you can actually do many of these with $100 or just a couple $1,000s. But we're going to assume $5,000 in the case where maybe you need to have a little bit of reserve in there. Maybe you're going to have a month or two of vacancy in the property, or maybe you need to put some paint into the home. So there's this a little bit of capital that you need up front. So for the first example, let's just assume $5,000, which again might be high for many of the transactions, but it's a good number to use as an average. Now, typically, you're going to generate this return of $20,000 over, say, 3 years. That's a pretty good average to use. Sometimes you could do it in 1 year, 18 months, 2 years, but let's just use 3 years and be a little bit conservative in this example. Now, your cash-on-cash ROI in this example, we are getting a return of $20,000 off of our $5,000 investment. This equals a 400% cash-on-cash ROI, return on investment. That is huge, isn't it? Think about that. 400%. That means in 3 years, you've quadrupled your money that you've put in. Now, again, you could divide that out by 3 to figure out what your APR is. So in this case, it'd be about 133%. But right now, again, because this could be done in 2 years or 1 year, it doesn't matter. My point is to focus on your cash-on-cash ROI. So that right there is already getting you triple-digit return on investment. Now, some of you are probably wondering, where in the world are you finding these opportunities where you could just put $5,000 in and get $20,000 out? Again, that's in our NextGen real estate investing strategies. I'm not going to go through that here because I want to stay focused on this topic to keep this video shorter for you. You can check out our other videos on how to acquire multiple properties with only $10,000. That's actually the easy part. It's actually not as hard as people think. So if you haven't watched it yet, go check that out. But if you've watched it already, you already know how that strategy works, and we do it all the time. I've been doing it for over 20 years. Okay, now let's take this to the next level and show you how to turn that triple-digit ROI into quadruple-digit ROI, as I promised you. Now, we do that through a concept called Agile Lending, and you'll see it on the screen here as an Agile loan. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of Agile Lending and all the specifics of that type of loan. We've got, again, another video specifically on that, but what I want you to walk away with is this. An Agile loan is basically a way that you can borrow money from investing partners who will give you the money that you need on particular real estate investing projects, and you might pay an interest rate of, let's say, 18%. Now, some people say, wow, that's a high interest rate, but it's not when you look at it as far as growing your money. And let me break that down for you. If you were to do an Agile loan on this project, and you took $3,500 loan as part of a partnership or however you structure it in your deal with an Agile lender, $3,500. Now, instead of getting $20,000 as your return, as we had up here, right, it's now going to become $18,110 because you've got to pay the interest on that loan of what you borrowed. However, instead of putting in $5,000, you're instead only going to put $1,500 out of your pocket because you've got $3,500 from your Agile loan and $1,500 of your own money. Typically, your Agile lending partners want you to have some money into a deal, but not always. There's lots of different ways to do it. So that's there's how you're getting your $5,000. Let's go back now and compute what is our cash on cash ROI. If you take now that you're making $18,110 off of a $1,500 investment, you've now made a 1,207% cash on cash ROI. That is quadruple digit cash on cash return. That means you're basically 12xing your money in just 3 years' time. This was a 3-year project. Is that not amazing or what? Think about that. Imagine, and this is why you want to focus on cash ROI. A lot of people are looking at the bottom line profit and they say, wow, you just gave up part of your $20,000 profit, but you did that so you have more money to repeat this process over and over again. Let me now take you through 2 more examples really quick to show you how powerful this Agile lending model can be so you can acquire more properties and increase the speed at which you grow your money and your cash. Let's suppose that our particular project we're working on requires $10,000 in capital. Maybe we're expecting a little bit more vacancy. Maybe we have to catch the seller up on some payments that they're past due on, association fees, bank lender, whatever it might be. So it's going to take a little bit of more capital out of our pocket. But let's say in this case, we're still only going to make $20,000 on the deal. And we'll keep it as in 3 years. And in this case, because we didn't make as much, our cash on cash ROI is still good, still triple digit, but it's only 200%. Well, instead of putting all $10,000 out of your pocket, you get an Agile loan at 18%. That's $8,500 you borrow from through the Agile lending model or partner with. Your return now drops from $20,000 to only $15,410. But you've only put $1,500 out of your pocket. This is your adjusted out of pocket, right, guys? So $1,500, your cash on cash ROI is still quadruple digit, 1,027% return on your investment. And so think about this. If you had $5,000 to begin with, you now can do 2 deals, 2 transactions, because you only needed $1,500 a transaction. That's only $3,000 of your $5,000 total out of pocket. And you adding up our 2, if we add those 2 together, we're talking over $30,000 that we just put into our pocket off of $3,000. It's unbelievable. I'm going to take you through one more example. Let's say you have an even bigger project, and let's say it requires $40,000. And I like using this one because this is real. This happens all the time. A project might need $40,000 because it needs renovations, and the sellers don't have the money to do the renovations. And you say, well, I don't have the money for the renovations either. That's okay. Watch how this model enables you to get into real estate investment transactions that yield incredible returns, and you don't need to have $40,000. So in these typical, in these types of deals, we typically are looking for a little bit more than the $20,000 return because there's more to be made. So let's say instead of 20, we make $30,000. And let's say it still takes us 3 years. Sometimes we could do these in 9 months or 12 months. So we could do it within a year. But let's say it took us 3 years. And the reason that becomes important is the faster we do it, the less our cost is, which is coming out of our adjusted return. So if we did this and, if going back to the last one, because it took us 3 years, we had to give up almost $5,000 of our profits. Had we done that in 1 year, we could have cut that expense by 2/3, down to 1/3, right? So faster that we can, the faster you can get through a project to the end, obviously the less expense on the loan you'll have. But anyway, so let's take this example. Our cash on cash ROI dropped pretty significantly. We dropped to 75%. If you divide that out over 3 years, that's still a 25% return annually, right? So it's not bad at all. We left the triple digits for the moment though. But watch what happens. Again, suppose you didn't have the $40,000 and you did an Agile loan for most of it. Let's say in this case, $37,500 you borrowed at 18%. Your profits out of that $30,000 now drop to only $9,750, right? And you're saying, wow, you gave up a lot. Well, you could look at it that way, or you could look at it on the flip side. The glass is half full, my friends, because you only put in this example, $2,500 into this transaction. And you returned out of that $2,500, $9,750. This means your cash on cash ROI is 390%. So you just took a deal that required $40,000, put almost none of your own money into this deal, and nearly almost quadrupled it in 3 years' time. In fact, if you do the math here, you made 390% return over 3 years. That's 130% APR. That's unbelievable returns. So think about that. Even when a deal goes into double digits, you can use an agile lending model to move you into triple digits. Now this, guys, is how you can generate triple or even quadruple digit cash-on-cash ROI, return on investment. Now this is such a powerful concept of agile lending to help individuals that want to invest in real estate but either don't have the capital or don't want to put all of their own capital into every single transaction. They want to spread it out. This agile lending model allows people to work together and increases your cash-on-cash return on investment as an investor. This is so powerful that we actually launched our own company called the Agile Group to help provide these types of partnerships and funds available to investors. That's how amazing this system is. So anyone can plug into this type of model if they just learn how to do it the right way. Now, if you like the idea of getting into real estate investing this way, where you're using very little money out of your own pocket, you're not needing credit, you're not needing traditional bank financing, and you're able to generate these types of returns, take advantage of the link that we have down below for you to get a free access to our behind the scenes of NextGen Real Estate Investing. We'll show you exactly how you find these types of properties, how you set up these types of deals, how these deals produce these types of returns with such little money invested into it. And if you like what I've been sharing with you here today, be sure to click the like button, maybe drop a few comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more content that we publish to our channel for you.